When people think of the Xbox 360, they think of one of two franchises, Gears of War or Halo. Both tell the stories of soldiers who must band together with their brothers in arms to repel the attacks of a nasty alien race. Both feature an epic storyline, and both are home to the biggest badasses in gaming. For each respective series, it gets no better than Halo 3 and Gears of War 2. But in a clash of two titans, only one may emerge victorious. Running on Unreal Engine 3.5 allows Gears 2 to display some truly breathtaking environments. Take the ultra-detailed Locust homeworld, or the blood-oozing arteries of the gigantic city-sinking worm. The divergent visual styles from level to level showcase what the engine can do, and the gallons of blood pouring out of dozens of enemies at once doesn't exactly hurt the production values. On the other hand, we have Halo 3, a game that was built on an older engine and was released over a year ago. The battles are the biggest in the franchise, commonly featuring huge skirmishes and on one occasion, multiple scarabs. But the environments just aren't as impactful as those in Gears 2, and despite its scope, the result is simply not as impressive. It's clear that Gears of War 2 wins in the graphics department. Ripping through enemies and watching their organs sever while staring at some of the best-looking character models housed within gorgeous environments is simply too tough to beat.
Control, this is Delta. Enemy threat eliminated.
We all remember Marty O'Donnell's theme to Halo, but play Halo 3 again and you'll also remember just how awe-inspiring it is set to the game itself. The multiple orchestral pieces give your actions a feeling of importance. The voice acting is a bit cheesy here and there, but it works better than what's in Gears 2. The weapons aren't quite as unique, but you'll still be able to call out the sound of a battle rifle in no time. The music that pumps throughout Gears of War 2 has a Hollywood quality rarely seen in gaming. That said, the voice acting in Gears has an odd stench of cheese that it never quite gets.
Running away won't help! I'll just shoot you in your asses!
Though it does improve for some of the more emotional cutscenes. Luckily, weapons like the torque bow have plenty of personality. Halo 3 presents the superior audio experience. The soundtrack could be ported into the Halo film without changing a note and be just as effective. Both games feature corny dialogue and good weapon effects, but in the end, Halo 3 comes out on top. Gears of War 2 delivers a more involved and epic storyline than what was in the first game. New characters are introduced and are used perfectly to push the plot forward, and we get a look at some impressive new enemies. Gears 2 also does a good job of at least acknowledging some of the loose ends from the first game, such as Marcus's dad and the Locust Queen. Halo 3 is the culmination of a trilogy and thus has a stronger sense of finality at its end. It does a good job of wrapping up the tale of Master Chief, at least for now, while still introducing some new characters and saying farewell to some old favorites. But side by side, the drama and emotional connection between the player and Dom's search for Maria is more meaningful than anything in Halo 3. The multitude of other story elements in Gears 2 might be daunting for some, but the possibilities that are now presented have serious potential. Gears of War as a series is all about stopping and popping while behind cover. Gears of War 2 does a commendable job of expanding the gameplay with things like picking up downed enemies as meat shields, decent vehicular segments, and some very stylish new executions. It doesn't alienate its fans by adding too many mechanics, nor does it rest too comfortably on its well-established laurels. Halo 3, while it is reminiscent of its predecessors, is pure, unadulterated fun at its finest. You'd be hard-pressed to find better vehicular controls in a shooter, and Halo 3 has a tighter, more focused overall experience. Gears of War 2 becomes uneven at times. See the Centaur tank level for an example, whereas Halo 3 remains spectacular throughout. Gears of War 2 is a title that's built to stay in your 360 for months to come. It features a longer campaign mode than the first game and a multiplayer offering that includes something of a ringer. Horde mode is amazing, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing this idea a lot more going forward. Toss in the new competitive modes along with new maps, and Gears 2 successfully separates itself from the AAA crowd. Halo 3, despite being a year older than Gears 2, does have more content. Like Gears 2, Halo 3 now has 15 available multiplayer maps, but they can be played across a much larger array of game modes and variations. There's also a co-op campaign mode, an online ranking system, the map modifying tool known as Forge, and an excellent video editor that lets you capture footage from the game and share it with your friends. Side note, Gears of War 2 lets you take photos. While Horde mode is tough to beat, it's the creative possibilities in Halo 3's video editor and Forge mode that push its feature set ahead of Gears 2. Halo has always been known for its huge multiplayer community, and Halo 3 is no different. Bungie does a splendid job of keeping the playlists and game modes fresh with regular updates, even going so far as to suggest modes and feature cool user-created videos. Couple that with some of the smoothest website integration ever seen in a video game, and Halo 3 multiplayer is something other games can only aspire to. Gears of War 2 will be played by millions for some time to come, and that's largely because of its multiplayer. There's a co-op campaign mode, Horde mode, where 5 friends play through 50 waves of bad guys on any of the 15 maps, and it's now possible to have 10 players total for competitive play on new modes like Guardian. There's also new matchmaking in Gears 2 that links up players of similar skills and allows them to vote on maps and modes that they'd like to play. Halo has been the king of the multiplayer hill for some time now, and despite the impressively addictive Horde mode of Gears 2, the staying power of the Halo community and the tireless support by Bungie to keep supplying fresh content successfully keeps Halo 3 on top. So in the battle of these two towering titans, Halo 3 emerges victorious. Its incredibly tight gameplay, epic soundtrack, and tireless support for the throngs of multiplayer fans out there make Halo 3 the game to own on Xbox 360. The creative outlets provided by Forge and the video editor are something that many games will try to copy in the future, but it's important to remember, there's only one Halo 3. Agree? Disagree? Check out our extensive write-up on IGN.com and weigh in for yourself.